Greetings, peace, and blessings, gods and goddesses. Welcome to Align with Ariana. I am Ariana, of course, a divine medium. Now, I wanted to come in and really talk about some things that, are very important to our society, to what is going on in our reality. I believe that we need to now shift our focus internally on our divine feminine, our divine masculine, really growing and shifting the homes, restructuring, rebuilding the homes, because there is this need, even though we have so many changes that's going on in the universe, right? We have so many changes that's going on in the universe at this point. If it wasn't anything that taught us anything, it definitely was the year of 2019. Okay, 2019 was the year of the start that taught us about change, that taught us about challenges, that taught us about the things that will not be consistent in our life. And now we're moving towards those directions. Now we're moving towards something that's not consistent. We are in a time where it's very important to shift the homes. I truly believe in this dynamic wise. And the thing is that many people around you are not going to really know much about this shift. This shift is going to be internal, okay? So when I'm talking about a shift, I'm talking about something energetically. I'm talking about something to your core where you feel in your heart, you feel in your soul that something has to change with your life. You know that it might be a pattern that you're doing, that you feel like, oh, I want to get out of this pattern. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm feeling called to do something better, to do something different. This energy that we're all feeling is the energy of development into a higher level of consciousness, a higher level of freedom, okay? Higher level of success. This is the opportunity to move towards success. So these are just the downloads that I was getting from Spirit that I just had to come and talk to you guys about, because I told you, as we're developing and as this channel changes, Align with Ariana is not just about getting a reading. It is about aligning your core self to your higher self. Do you guys realize this is alchemy? This is true changes that are happening every single day that you have to unlock in your body and your vessel. I don't care what teacher tells you that this is easy. It's not. You have to shift your reality. You have to shift the environment, the people that you're around. You have to shift your ideas. You have to go inward. You have to work through the hard things. You have to uncover the trauma. You have to break up the ground, okay? But this is planting season. This is really the time for abundance. It really is. It really is the time for creation. If you don't know, can't you feel the energy is creating? Because the world is literally shifting. When people talk about the Matrix, right? You might hear all these people. Listen, I'm not the person that comes on that talks about fear this and fear that, or talk about this conspiracy theory. I'm not going to get into those conversations, but you're going to hear people talk about, you hear people talk about the Matrix, right? You hear people saying we're in the Matrix. But what's more powerful is that when you realize that you are the Matrix. This is the Matrix, of course, but you are the Matrix. We, the awakened people, the gods and goddesses that have arisen, we are the Matrix. We are the one that's coming about. We have shifted our reality. And the deeper parts of within ourselves are still unhealed. We have generations, okay? Let's talk about it. Black and brown people especially have generations of unhealed things, of trauma that sits. And it's said, I read, and also heard an older lady talking about it, that if there is trauma introduced into the generations, that it could take at least 17 years, 17 generations, not years, 17 generations for that to be cleared. So when trauma and tragedy happens within the bloodline, within the family unity, within the core vessel of the woman, of the black and brown woman, or any woman for that matter of fact, but just for the black and brown woman, especially when trauma comes up in the family and in the home, things begin to shift, things begin to change. When these traumas come up, it can affect generations. So the way I feel about it is that it's so much trauma that is unhealed. So you know how everyone wants healing. It's not one person in this world that doesn't want healing. It's not one person that in this world that doesn't want to feel better and feel their best and feel happy about where they're going on their life path. It's not one person here. Because we all need that for our life. But the matter of the fact is that the world is changing. So since the world is changing, we must change our traumas. We must reprogram our mind. This is about resetting the home. This is about resetting the values and the core values of ourselves. Not just the exterior home of what we have every single day, but your internal home, your body. Your body. We are gods, literally. Literally, you are a god, a goddess, meaning that you come as a part of the source. You know, I'm big on astrology, but I'm not big on what sign is in what sign, okay? But I can tell you that these major shifts, these major transitions that's happening, these retrogrades, these Pluto retrogrades, these Saturn retrogrades, these Mercury retrogrades, of course they happen all the time. But these are not only talking about an external thing. These are talking about what's going on in our life, in our body, in the inside of us. Each and every one of us are going through retrogrades right now. This is like a destructive energy to really create the core of who you are. And this is an opportunity if you move forward and decide how to do that. So most people ask, how do I do that? Most people say, how do I open myself up to change? How do I do this work? Because 9 times out of 10, you go buy this product or that product, or you might even get a reading to tell you, okay, well, this part in your life needs to be changed, or that part in your life can use some work or use some healing. But you still have answers, right? You still need answers. You still need answers as to why, like what is really happening, what's going on. What do I need to do to change these parts of my life? So what happens in the process of your spiritual awakening and on this journey, because this journey is forever going, you guys, listen, it does not stop. It's going to keep going. It's going to keep going. But what will happen is that you will get healing. You will be healed. It's that moment where you can go back and look at yourself, and you'll see changes in your body. You'll see physical changes. You'll see a lot of growth within your life when you commit yourself to more of a divine path, I should say. Now, whether the form looks like religion, listen, I don't want to get into all of that. And because most people are still stuck at those conversations like, do I believe in God? Or am I supposed to believe in church? Am I supposed to believe in God? Am I supposed to believe in Jesus? Am I supposed to believe in these things if I'm walking a spiritual path? Listen, your spiritual path starts and begins and ends with you. Okay? It ends and begins with you. And it begins and it ends with you. It starts internally because, listen, you have to heal those core parts of yourself that are hurting. You have to heal those core parts of yourself that continue. The reason why, we continue, people, a generation, just in general, if this, resonates with you, if you continue to put others before yourself, if you continue to want to walk around in pain, if you continue to want to work for someone to build your legacy, and you haven't learned how to tap into your divine power, your truth, your healing, or what you have to do or give to the world, that is essential to your development. It's essential to the family life and the family structure. So people ask this question, how do I heal? How do I go through this process, Ariana? How do I heal? How do I get over this trauma? How do I work through this pain, this stuff I've been battling with for years? I still have anxiety. I still go through these things. And this might be a question that you're wondering. But the healing comes when you are ready to bear all. When you are willing and ready to bear all and be disciplined about your work. Many people don't realize that. I know for me, when I started my journey, discipline was key, okay? And I'm still on my journey, and discipline is key. I'm talking about dedication and discipline, getting up in the morning. You have to get up between the hours of 3 and 5. You have to be up between the hours of 3 and 5, already awakened. 3 in the morning, a.m. to 5 a.m. to have some sort of dedication and discipline to yourself every single day. Let's say you might take a day off, like a Saturday maybe. I don't know. But you still have to have the discipline to work through trauma and pain every day. It doesn't end, but you do have to wake up. You have to get up in the morning. Why? Because the hours, between the hours of 3 and 5 are considered to be known the source hours, the God hours, meaning that you can tap into an unlimited amount of potential. You can tap into the actual source energy, God, which you are the creator and be created from that source, because you're made in the likeness of the image. That's where it comes from. You have been broken down into the source. So now you become the creator. Now you become that creator in which you were created from. So you have to get up in between those hours. It's not by coincidence that they used to have, even before slavery, they used to wake them up before a certain time, because that was the time of creation, of production. They could get the most out of their energy, the source. They pull from the source energy. But here or there, I'm gonna digress. I'm not even gonna talk about that source of energy, but I'm relating it to the reason why you have to wake up between those hours of 3 and 5 is because it's source energy. So you're able to tap into information that is outside of you. You're able to get guidance that is outside. You're able to get a true healing path that's outside of you. So that's why you have to tap into the source between those hours. Well, Ariana, what do you mean by tapping into that? I'm doing everything. I got my crystals. So I'm not only talking about just like getting up. I'm talking about meditation. I'm talking about clearing work. I'm talking about removing trauma, like really doing some heavy, serious work between those hours. Because at that time, you're able to hear source. And between the hours of 3 and 5, or actually between the hours of 3 and 6, I always say 3 and 5 because people start moving a little, the times change as the world began to change. But between the hours of 3 and 5, the world is considered to be sleep. So these are considered to be the dead hours, or the hours of the dead. Usually starting from midnight to about 4 o'clock. But that's a whole nother energy, okay? Because sometimes when you're talking about that midnight to 3 o'clock energy, that's a different type of energy. But to tap into source from 3 to 5 o'clock to be up, that is a good amount of time to connect with the divine. To connect with your inner self, the divine within you, to see what is it that lies within me. We get so caught up in trying to watch trends now, trying to see what is trending, what's going on in everybody else's life. But the problem is we don't even really want to get down to the key source of our lives and what's really causing us to attract to certain things. You know, we have to go back to that energy. We have to go back to the energy of what's causing us to attract to certain entertainment, to certain television. Tell lie vision. Tell lies to my vision. That's what it is. So we have to see where those triggers, where those traumas are coming up, and they come up within our thoughts, within our patterns, within our behaviors. So many of you are at this time could be really making shifts in your, like, I'm feeling this core, I'm feeling this sense of energy that many of you are making this shift into this new you, right? We call it the new you. We call it like, oh, I'm doing a new me. I'm getting a new me. But you're moving into a new you. And the part of it all is that you are shifting to change your life, to change your world. And you do have to work with the inner aspect to get the outer aspect. It's just not going to happen any other way. So you're going to be working on your meditation, you probably done went and bought 50 crystals. You probably at this point in your life where you're about the crystals, you're meditating every day, you're just about ready to transition into a healthier lifestyle, but you still may eat meat from time to time, but you're just about ready to transition. You're listening to different things in your life. And listen, in regards to the meat, listen, I'm not here to judge you on what you're putting in your body. So what you put in your body is literally a choice. But when you're moving into consciousness, it's best to assist you on that development to eat conscious light food, or to have a light body, what we call a light body. Because what happens is when you go to sleep, you travel in astral realms. See, we tend to think that our reality is just in this world right here, this box, this what we're going through every single day. That's our world, that's our reality. But that's not true. That's far from the truth. We are well advanced. We go into other dimensions and other realities throughout the day, synchronicity, all throughout the day, in different parts of the day. So, especially at night. So we're going through these things, and we can travel through like our dreams and stuff at night. And we can go to all these we can go to different time spaces, okay? We can go to the past. We can go visit old family members. Like, we're going through different things at night. So when you're going through these things, you have to have a light body when you're healing. So this is only for the people that's ready to do the work, to do the healing work, because I'm just expressing what the download that I got from the divine and how we're shifting. You got to eat light. You got to have a light body. You really don't want to eat out much at this time. It's funny because I was like telling my husband today, I was like, yo, I don't like cooking late, right? I don't like cooking after a certain time. So I really like to be cooking by 12 every day, 12 p.m. At least have my dinner ready. But I was telling my husband, I was like, I don't want to go, I don't want to try to cook late. Let's just go out. And then something just kicked in and was like, nope, you're cooking. So I said, well, I came up with a quick little meal for us. Easy. Some cauliflower tacos. So I was like, oh, that works, because I can actually transition that and make it like taco salad and all kind of little fun stuff. You know, you can make it kid friendly as well, because my daughter, she's still young. But one of the things that Spirit is confirming is that you can't have discipline over your spiritual growth and your spiritual life and where you want to be and heal from these things, from this trauma, if you're not disciplined about what you put in your body. And this is not a debate on whether you eat meat or whether you're vegan, whether you're vegetarian. This is not a debate for that. This is about what level of degree of discipline do you have to shift your energy to care enough what goes into your body. See, some people are not going to be ready for this transition because they don't have the discipline or even want to care what's in their food. The meats that are now out, even some of the vegetables and the produce that are out now, are not even our own. They are chemicalized and formed with all these different type of things. It doesn't matter if you're regular or organic, right? It doesn't matter. So, but what does matter is having a light body. Okay, so what matters truly is having a light body, meaning that your body is different geometric shapes. And you have this energy. Consider yourself like being in a spaceship, right? You have your spaceship that's around you, including your aura. Your aura is a part of that. Your aura, which is about like 12 feet high, I think, or 9 feet. Yeah, 12 feet high and 9 feet wide, I think. It's very, very large. So with your aura, it's like your spaceship. So this is like your light body energy, okay? And then you have some things which is called a Merkaba, and we can get into that, but that's a spiritual activation shuttle. It protects you. We'll get into that later, okay? As we dive much deeper into that information, okay? This is not, we got to slow walk it. But you have an aura, you have a field around you. This field around you is energy, okay? It attracts energy and it repels. It attracts and it repels. It attracts and it repels. And it also holds and stores energy. So what happens is the trauma that we have from young childhood, or even things that we create in our subconscious, things that we're not aware of, things that we tell ourselves over and over, or things that are in the back of our mind, that thought you just can't get rid of, this has been in the back of your mind, and you just like, man, I want to try it, but I wouldn't be good at it, and you keep telling yourself that's embedded in your subconscious. So what happens is your aura stores all of these memories, this trauma, this karma, even karma from past life, things you've done from past life, things you thought of, because karma is not just what you do, it's what you think, what you create in your mind, your thoughts. So your aura stores all of this energy, and it's sitting in your aura. It doesn't matter how many spiritual baths. Now, you can take some spiritual baths to get it clean, but oftentimes you got to do the work. You got to do the spiritual clearing work to remove this trauma and this karma. This is something that you have to do. And it sits in your aura. So if you're eating heavy foods, you have that on top of what's in your aura, meaning that your body is not light. It can't travel. You cannot project to a level of consciousness that some people might be able to have. You can't get to that point. That's why you can be talking to someone you know and love and you care about, and you're having a conversation that goes deep into like, man, something is going on in this reality. Isn't it weird that this is happening, that happened, and they looking at you like you're crazy? And they can't have those conversations, and they're like, oh, you're just out of your mind. You're going crazy. And you're like, I'm not going crazy. This is like, it's real. And they cannot see it. It's because they are too heavy. Their light body is too heavy. They cannot go anywhere. So that means it's dense, it's low, it's heavy. Energy. So yes, at this time you have to eat lighter foods. You can't eat heavy foods. You have to eat lighter foods that's going to help you in your transitioning, that's going to help you grow your consciousness, that's going to help you to remove and clear all of that crap that's been in a life through generations. This is like, often we just had this conversation. If you haven't joined if you haven't joined my Instagram, I'm telling you, you're missing out some deep, deep conversations and deep, deep, deep introspective readings. But I only do readings when I'm called to do them. But I was feeling this energy of spirit just saying, this is really the time to heal. So what I have is, of course, 12 days of Ajna. If you haven't joined, then you can come on over to my Instagram family. I'm going to embrace you. I'm going to love you the same way. And, I'll be coming on here as well with these conversations. But, 12 days of Ajna is my program, and you do the work. You do the work. I don't do the work. You do the work for you. Because what I found on my spiritual journey is that I took a journey for literally 2 to 3 years. It was about 3 years. But when I started the journey, it was very consistent. I was very consistent in my spiritual path. I talked about this before, many of you know. And this is when I got the most healing. Like, I was doing the work. So I condensed what I know and what I did and what worked for me down into a program for 12 days. And it's 12 days of like true commitment. Don't do it if you're not ready to like commit, but this is 12 days of commitment. But I highly suggest, if you are entering into this level of where you're like, okay, I'm ready to start a new journey. I want a new me, because this is what happens with transitions. You're most likely just saying like, I just want a new me. I want to be different. I want something new. 12 days of Ajna will give you the new you. Okay. It works with alchemy. And the alchemy internally must be worked before you can do any alchemy on the external, before you can manipulate anything. So it's internal alchemy, and you will see a difference in your skin, meaning your skin is going to glow. Okay, I have before and after pictures of my journey. The same things that I use will be implemented. So you can follow me on Instagram, of course, like I said, Align with Ariana. And you will see the transformation that it took me. Your skin will change. Your body will change. More than likely, you will lose some weight. No, I'm not starving you. You're not starving. But I promise you, you will be well nutritionalized. You will have all the things that you need, but you will not be starved. And you won't have to eat little, little meals of, you will have to eat some small portion meals, but it's going to be very frequently. You'll be okay. But I will tell you, it's a journey. It's something that you're going to heal through, and I will say it's not easy. But I'm seeing a growth. I'm seeing a growth within the development of women, especially women and men. But the divine feminine woman, I'm seeing a rise for her to come up and just like be birthed at this time. So many of the women that this is for, that's going to hit your homes. The reason why you're the one that was told to go on this healing journey with yourself is so you can heal your family. So you can prepare to know what to do for your family, how to cook, how to prepare certain foods, how to do certain things, what herbs to go through. What am I learning? Which herbs am I supposed to work with for my family? How do I heal this problem? Something simple as a common cold. Even though you might use, over-the-counter things, you might want to know how to use natural things in your home, like how to go get the onion, how to go get the orange peels, how to go get the honey, how to soak that into the jar and give the kids tablespoons of the honey, and you take tablespoons of the honey every so often, and the cold is gone without even using any over-counter anything. Because I come from a generation, for me, even though I'm young, I'm an old soul. I get that all the time. But I come from a generation where it was just, I was the groundbreaker for my generation. I was the one that had to learn how to heal in a very natural way. Because I grew up, taking over-the-counter stuff. My mom didn't know. So when I came up and I decided, when I came into and stepped into my parenthood, I just decided that I didn't want that for my family or myself. I didn't like taking medications and things like that, like Tylenol. I mean, I ain't gonna throw no names out there, but I ain't like taking no medications. But, I didn't like taking none of that stuff, So I just decided, well, I was gonna learn. So I actually became a certified herbalist and started learning about herbs. And I continue my knowledge with herbs every day with learning more about them. So then I implemented that for my family. So now I know how to heal and work through a lot of common things within the body, within the family. So natural homeopathic things where you can use the herbs, because really herbs are really a source of God. It's the source of the energy of power, because it can heal. It can do the same thing. That's where they create synthetic medicine from. It's from herbs. It comes from the source first. And then they synthesize it, they put it in chemical labs and mass produce it. Just like with foods, it's the same thing. Now it's under a mass production, and you have this mass production of all these different seeds. And I think I was reading an article about that majority of the farming seeds that are out now are owned by literally 3 companies, I think. I think it's like 3 companies that own the majority of the farming seeds to grow fruits and vegetables. So yeah, of course, gardening is very important for your family. I'm going to be gardening. Like, I have plots. I'm going to have land. So I'm definitely going to be gardening. Follow me on my journey for that. I'll film it. But I did learn how to garden from my herbalist. I didn't know how to become a gardener. So I learned how to plant and what to plant and how to plant it and what side to plant it on, and what season, what side of the house to plant it on, or the yard, because that's important. Where you can actually have the most out of your seeds and things like that. But I was reading that a company, it's really like 3 companies that own the majority of the farming seeds now. So the seeds are already like, they're already traumatized by the wave of consciousness that others are trying to stop the reality and the birth of this new consciousness, y'all. This is new consciousness. This is a new beginning. Like, this is a new phase. We're not at the old phase anymore. The old phase is completely dying out. This is a new birth. We are the matrix. We are creating it every day with our thoughts and in our reality. And it's very important to take control of your thoughts and your reality. Take control of your healing, because no longer can we run to other people for our healing. No longer. So yeah, we've moved into a new direction. It's a new phase now, and the old phase is dying out. You want to make sure that you're aware and you're creating your reality. You're not allowing others to create your reality. So how do you do that? First, you must uncover the depths of where your reality began to form and heal. So past life, trauma, things like that. We'll begin to work through that. And then as well, you must, after you uncover those things, you must be willing to put in discipline, time and effort into your new growth process. And you heal that from your heart space. Your heart allows you to open yourself up to new opportunities. And then you work towards the things. It's like peeling an onion. You start with the inner layer. So you got to uncover. You got to be truthful. You got to be honest. You got to do the hard work. I mean, the stuff that people don't want to do, okay? The stuff that people want to talk about, like I'm healing, I'm writing down my the things that hurt me and I'm burning it in the fire and things like that. That's cool. That's cool. I'm not knocking nobody. That's cool. But are you facing what happened to you at 9? Are you facing the truth of what you're battling? This is an everyday fight, y'all. This is not something that just heals overnight. So I love you guys. You know, I'm out. I don't want to take up all your time here, you know, and I don't want to just be beating down, you know, your head with all this information. But trust me, this is the gods and goddesses. We are here to restructure the home, to bring healing and therapy into our homes, into our bodies. But the first home that we can heal before we can heal anything else is our internal home. To make sure our internal home is healed, and then trust me, everything else will align. I love you guys. I love you. I love you. Please join me on my Instagram. I go live every day, not every day. Every day, Monday through Friday. I try to go live every day, even on Saturday and Sunday. You catch me on live too. So I go live on my Instagram channel and try to catch me on there. Join me at Align with Ariana. The channel is growing as well. You know, Align with Ariana has already shifted into this new direction because I felt this energy. I felt this calling. Spirit just was like, no, we got some groundwork to do. So join me on there, as well as get ready for the 12 days of Ajna coming out. It will be available on the website, on my website at www.alignwithariana.com. This is serious business. You will get results and it will change your life. So this is for those that don't need to say affirmations every day. They don't need to write down their stuff to burn the paper. This is for the people that's ready to do some work, okay? We're about to clear, we're about to remove, we're about to uncover, okay? And then we're going to heal in that process. It's going to be a beautiful experience, beautiful journey. I can't wait to see you guys. I love you. For more details, for more goodies, for more working your magic, peace, love, why do? Bye.